More ranting, yay. I mean, the other one was a rant, but it was like just me talking about choir and stuff. I am like Bob Ross and I get caught up in doing stuff that I love and then I won't shut up about it. Like, I love fundraising and stuff like that. I'm not very good at it, but I love it. Disneyland, I will get lost, but I kind of like it a little bit. Happiest place on earth. What do you mean I get lost all the time? Actually, my family wants to go to Disneyland with Jameson, my cousin, when he's older. So, yay. Also, it's like really late. It's like 10 something, but I finally took a shower. I took off my onesie because it's hot. And I just have a t-shirt and shorts on. And I mean, it's only like that in the house. And it's like, I don't know. Everywhere else it seems to be okay. But yeah, whoop-de-doo. I also saw someone's Snapchat story when I went off, and I was like, oh my god, because they were filming my friend Murray, but it was like, I was in the background, and like, you could tell it was me, and I'm like, oh my god, no. Like, oh god, I look bad. But I was so fucking dead, and I was tired, and I was just like, no. It was just lunchtime, and I was just like, I want to go to bed. But tomorrow I have a sandwich that I can eat in the band room, even though we're not supposed to be eating. I've seen people eat a full course meal in there, as long as you clean it up and hide the evidence in reality. Usually, like, even band kids eat in there. Like, I've seen band kids eat in there. Like, come on, it's not a big deal. But I've been wanting like stuff that we just have at home, and I'm like, I want it. But you can't always get what you want sometimes. So, fuck. And tomorrow I have to get craft sticks because I had to buy the I had to get them for my trebuchet because I don't think I'm gonna finish building it on what my teacher Mr. V has left. It sucks, but I'm gonna go get craft sticks and work on my project on Wednesday after school, and I'm hoping to paint it and put a little bit of glitter on it because I really like glitter. Yeah, show, so I'm like, yeet. Fun. My friend missed rehearsal, and I don't know if she's okay or not. Like, I really don't, like, she wasn't there for the whole rehearsal, and I don't know if it was like an excused absence from it or something, or if she got sick, or like something happened to her. So I'm hoping I see her tomorrow. And if it's something personal, obviously I won't share, and I won't go into, like, and asking her, what's wrong? And like, forcing her to tell me, like, no, like, I just want to know, hey, you missed rehearsal yesterday, where were you? Are you good? That kind of thing. I've been trying to be a better person. So I've been trying to ask questions like that, like, hey, are you good? Just random people. Like, there was this girl at homecoming, and she just had her head down on the table because she was really tired. I'm like, hey, are you okay? Like, do your date ditch you or something? And she's like, oh, no, I'm just really tired. I'm like, okay. And I didn't, like, pressure her into saying anything, because obviously, if you ask someone, they're like, oh, well, thanks. But they're probably not going to tell you. Oh, God, I need to open this jar. They're probably not going to tell you if anything is wrong. From my experience, that's how it's been. Like, they don't tell you what's wrong. And then it's like, you're obviously supposed to know, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know what's fucking wrong if you don't fucking tell me what's wrong. That's literally basically what my math teacher has told us. I'm not even sure how you say her name. It's like that. You know that Special Agent Oso from like it's I don't think it was Nickelodeon, Disney, something. It might have been Disney. It was just like a kids show. Like her name is like that, and I'm like, is it Oso? I'm like whatever it was. I don't actually remember. But oh well. Also, I have a freaking hangnail. Hangman. Hangman. That's the name of the song. I'm so stupid. But I'm participating in the Spirit Week because we're doing Spirit Week, but it's like the Spirit Day tomorrow, I guess is what you'd call it. Dress up day. I call them dress up days. I like that word phrase, I guess. I don't know. I'm really tired, but I can't sleep quite yet. I don't know why. But anyway, it's okay. Wear all red or red out. Like some people are definitely gonna go for the all red, and I'm just gonna wear like a red dress with black tights and a black cardigan on, just because I know that looks cute and it's gonna keep me slightly warm. Which also brings me to the fact that I have to bring a blanket tomorrow or like a shawl or something to put over me during rehearsal because I know I'm going to be cold in the band room because it gets cold in there, but it's like not quite cold. It's not as cold as sitting in the theater for a few hours. Like that will freeze your bones. Literally, me today. It was like by the end of rehearsal, I'm like, I'm freezing. And we walked in the hallway and it's like, it's so warm. And then we came back out and it's like, oh god, it's so freaking cold in here. And then we walked back in the hallway to exit, and I'm just like, okay, my stepdad's there. And I was like, okay. And I was on the phone with my aunt, and I didn't even see his car. So I was like in a rush to end the call with my aunt. And then some slight drama. And I figured out that like some of my aunts don't like each other. And that my mom was right that like none of her sisters like each other. And I'm like, that's a mood. And I don't know why they all don't like each other. I really don't. It's like she was only ever close with like maybe three of them. And then like her one brother, my uncle Art, she was kind of close with him. I don't have many cousins that are alive still, and the ones that are alive are like druggies and stuff. Or like they're my second cousins. Cousins. They'd be a distant cousin. They wouldn't really be like. It'd be like my mom's uncle Buck, my mom's uncle, Uncle Buck, and his kids, and it's like okay, so they're like I wouldn't say I guess my generation, they'd be like along like the same lines of like oh the grandkids, although they weren't technically related. So I don't know. My mom just kept in contact with like Michael, I guess was his name, and he was in the military and stuff. So yay. But then on my dad's side, my dad's not close to any of his family. There's like one that he's kind of close to, and that's his sister Alice. And it's kind of funny because whenever he talks to her, like his accent comes back, and it's like it's only when I talk to people from Boston or from the East, and it's like he'll say pawn instead of pawn, and it's pretty funny. It's like oh my god, that's great, Dad. And it's just great to like hear his accent. Like, is that how you talked? He's like, yeah, pretty much. I'm like, okay. But it's like Boston plus like, because he's like, he grew up like maybe like 2 hours away from Boston, I think, in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. I'm not too sure on that, but he grew up pretty close to it, so obviously the accent and stuff was there for him. Ireland. And then my mom is literally from California, so it's like, oh, cool. Families who have like, I have some with like a southern accent, like y'all, like my aunt Gail talks like that. She's like, oh, sweetie, y'all, stuff like that. But that's mostly from her dad. And my aunt Sue will say like y'all, and like she mostly has a Californian accent in a way. And I just kind of have like a whatever, like standard American, like Western accent. But like some of my aunts have like a more southern accent. Or like, I wouldn't say southern, maybe like, actually, no, yeah, southern. Like Georgia and stuff like that, I guess. Because I think my grandpa was from Georgia. And so he talked like that, so they would pick up on it. And then my aunt Gail lives in a very small town, so a lot of them have just like country accents, y'all. Y'all. They say stuff like that. I don't know. Y'all and sweetie, sweetheart. And then like they call it like babe will be like your niece. Like she calls me babe, and it's just like, okay, that's like a really old person thing to say, because she's literally like one of the oldest children out of the nine that was born in like the 50s. 18 by the time my mom was born, and she was like the third oldest. I think Gail's older than her. And I'm like, oh my god, so old. And my Aunt Carol and my Uncle Scotty were like way closer in age than my mom was to anyone else. So she really kind of got along with them more than anyone. And then Sue took care of her, so she bonded with Sue, so she was only like three or four of her siblings are really close with. Because all the other ones were way older and didn't really care. And I don't hear a lot from my other aunts because I don't know if they know I exist. And I don't know if they're still alive. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I don't know. And it's kind of weird because when like they talk, it's like they'll be talking, oh, what about Aunt Margaret? And it's like, oh, ha ha ha. And they'll like start laughing, and like, I'm like, who's Aunt Margaret? And they're like, oh, that was our aunt. And I'm like, oh. And I think my mom was telling me about her because I guess something about making dresses or something for them. And it's like, she was buried right next to my grandpa. When we went to visit, it was like Margaret Evans, George Alfred Evans, I think. Bethany Louise Evans, and like her maiden name or something. I know my mom's maiden name because it never changed. It was always Evans, and my dad's was always just my dad. Like he doesn't have a maiden name. It's just his name. Like yeah. Although it's weird because it's like, oh my god, all of them had like my dad, my mom, and my grandpa on my mom's side all had A's for their middle name, like Anne, Alfred, and Alan. And it's like, Jesus Christ. And then it's kind of funny because me and George have like our parents' names, like Elizabeth and David, and my sister's is Elise, but it's spelled with an A. Because her mom, I don't know, her mom like spelled it really weird, and I'm like, God, that's like a stupid way of spelling it because no one's gonna know that says Elise. But it was after Fur Elise, and I'm like, I really love Fur Elise for that reason. I'm like, it's because of my sister's middle name. And it's like, but it's like Janine Elise when you're mad. And I don't think she knows how to play Fur Elise. I'm like, oh, I want to teach you. And she's just not interested in it at all. She's more interested in fucking around on the keyboard, if anything. But oh well, I'm about to fall asleep, so thank God I can finally sleep. Good night.